Marcus, how did you get involved with being a visual effects supervisor on Rebel Moon?
So we had just finished up Army of the Dead, and I've been working with Zach on that. And it was peak COVID when we finished that. So we were all working from home. We hadn't seen each other in a while. And we finally, it was like right when the first vaccines came out. And so I think we all were vaccinated for our first shot. And we all decided we had to have like a wrap dinner. And so we all went out to dinner, and Zach told me about the project. And he said, I got the script. I want to send it to you. I want to talk to you about it. And so he sent it to me, and I like couldn't put it down. I read the whole thing straight through. And I guess they say the rest is history from there. So I was brought on the project, and about 2.5 years ago, and I've been living in it ever since. Both movies.
Right. And walk us through the day of a life of a visual effects supervisor. Like, what do you do? Because I was reading up on it a little bit. It sounds really exciting, but it also sounds like it can be very tedious in a way as well. So, walk us through a day in the life of a visual effects supervisor.
Sure, I'll give it to you in like two parts. There's more than that. I'll give it to you in the shoot part, and I'll give it to you in the post part. So during shoot, I'm responsible for making sure we film things correctly, making sure we capture all things by filming correctly. Technically correct. What is the intention of the shot for the creature, for the environment? But also, I'm there to support Zach's vision. So filming is tricky because it's organic in nature, and you might go, oh, I want to pick this shot up over there, and I'll go like go in my Rolodex of like, okay, over there is this, and da 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 da. And so I'll uh I'll go, great, let's do it, and then I'll just make sure that we capture whatever we need to and make a mental note of what's over there. So when we get into post and assemble everything, we can kind of have a good vision of it. It's also a lot of my work on set, specifically for this movie, is interacting with cast and kind of explaining to them if Zach hasn't already, because Zach's got wearing multiple hats. He's got to
Right.
direct them, and I'm just explaining to them what this creature is, what it's doing back there, how big it is, what the environment is back there, what feelings it should um give to you. And so uh and then it's basically a big puzzle piece, and shooting and figuring out everything. I got to grab everything that I can, that I know I'll need, but also that I think I'll need, because things change in post, right? Ideas develop, things come up, and so I want to make sure that I get all of that, because once we're done filming, I can't call back a lot of that stuff. And so that's the shoot part, and then in post production, it's executing all those creatively, making sure that I understand Zach's vision correctly, and then also interacting with all the other supervisors and leads and artists at all the facilities that do the work, right? And the artists, talking to them about the shoot, right?
Right.
What was important to Zach on the shoot, what I like, the way it looks, or this or that, what Zach likes the way it looks, da 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 da. And so from there, we just develop the shots. So that's where the tedious moment comes, where it's a lot of, like, you can imagine for Rebel Moon 1, there's 1,380 or so shots in there.
Yeah.
You can imagine my eyeballs, and many other eyeballs for that matter, have looked at each shot at least 3 times, probably some of them upwards of like 8 to 10 times. And then knowing that those are only 8 to 10 times I've looked at it, I was 1,300. And then all the other artists working on those individual pieces to that one shot, right? So that's where it becomes very tedious, and then it goes into the detail, right? So when you're drilling down and trying to make the shots look really, realistic, or photo real, or just fit within the surrounding shots, you have to look at a lot of like those fine details where, maybe the audience, the majority of them won't notice it, but the 10% that do, those are important, right? And
Right.
so the it's the talking about, I'll use this one as an example, talking about the Bennu. Where does the Bennu live? It lives in a dirty environment, okay? It needs to have dirt specks intermingled within its feathers, right? It needs to have a big dust plume, things things like that, where those are the kinds of details that we try to strive to put into the shots. They become very tedious, and it's always that like last 10 to 15% of the shot that really takes the longest until, pencils down and we go, okay, that's good enough. We'll show it to Zack for final approval.
Right. And Rebel Moon is so magical and majestical with the visuals. So, I mean, what surprises you or what blows you away from Zack Snyder's vision? Because you worked with so many other directors as well. So, what really stands out to you from working with him?
Zack, first of all, his energy. He's always positive and always upbeat, and it's fun. It makes going to work fun, right? It makes when you go to work and you have that creative energy and just inspiration around you all the time, it makes going to work really enjoyable. And I think a lot of that carries over because, my job is to, again, influence and talk to the artists about all this. And I have to bring that excitement through to me because they don't always get access to Zack because Zack is doing a million other things, putting an edit together, doing the sound, all that stuff. And so I have to bring that energy across. And I think that's important for my job, but also driven by Zack, because I'll go, no, we got to be excited about this. This is what we want. This is this is the world we're creating in this moment. And it's got to feel like this and get everyone super pumped. I think the other thing is that he really entrusts the people he hires. And, he's very meticulous when he comes to storyboarding the ideas that he draws, filming those same ideas. And so it's kind of, there's a blueprint there already for me and all of us to go off of. And it's just kind of like executing that technically and plussing those up, if you will, adding those fine details, the lens flares, the dust, flying through frame, all those little things, the little fine hairs on Armada as like a spider or pseudo crab piece when it's backlit. Like those fine details are the things we really work hard to put in the shots.
Well, we got to wrap it up, Marcus. Thank you so much for joining us at Infamous Horror today, and congratulations on Rebel Moon, and I look forward to talking to you again.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.